Flowers held aloft around midnight in the port of Catania. There's never been an arrival ceremony like this for any migrants here. But the 28 survivors from the worst shipping disaster of this crisis were treated like heroes. They took their flowers in a state of bemusement, wondering perhaps how long their hero survivor status would last, and what, if anything, it would translate into. For two of the passengers, it wasn't flowers but handcuffs that greeted them. The captain of the sunken ship and his mate were arrested and charged with multiple homicides. Who knows if punishment will put the smugglers off when they can make $1 million or more from each large vessel. The boats are still coming. This was the latest, filmed last night, one of 6 that had to be rescued. When the migrants are lucky enough to make it across the Med to Catania, they get taken to a place so bizarre they could surely never have imagined it. Welcome to the village of Oranges, presumably named after the orange groves that surround this settlement, not the barbed wire or the military patrols. This is the biggest migrant camp in southern Europe, and if it feels like suburban bliss gone wrong, that's because it is. Until a few years ago, this was a gated community for American airmen and their families from the nearby military base. Now ambulances are parked where there used to be Chevys, and 4,000 migrants from dozens of countries call this place home for as little time as possible.
We have Somalian, Syrian, Pakistani, Iraqi, Nigerian, Gambian, you name them. We have so many nationalities inside.
And does everyone in there want to get out, or do people want to stay?
Of course, everyone in this camp want to get out. Even me, actually, now I'm tired and fed up of this place. 1 year, 2 months I'm here.
Saibu is from Gambia, waiting for the papers that will allow him to leave here. If he could have stayed in Libya, where he worked in construction, he would have done.
Because of their conflict, my mudir pushed me to come here.
So had there been no conflict in Libya, you would have stayed in Libya?
Definitely,
working?
Definitely. I would stay there, work. It's because of their civil war I came here.
There are as many stories here as there are faces and nationalities. But wherever they come from, they have one thing in common. The trauma of the crossing is followed by the tedium of the wait for work and documents.
Work do you do?
Azelam is from Nigeria.
In Nigeria, I was a truck driver.
A truck driver, but here what work do you do in Sicily?
I used to beg. I
used to beg?
Beggar, yeah, I used to do beggar. At times I go to farm and work for farm people.
When you work for the farmer, what do they pay you?
They pay me, it's not always, sometimes.
But how much money do you get from them?
€15.
For a day?
Yeah.
Migration is hardly a new phenomenon, but the dramatic rise in numbers is also one of those unintended consequences of our meddling in the Middle East. If Colonel Gaddafi was still misruling Libya, they wouldn't be here, fleeing the chaos that ensued after his demise. For Europe, it's now all about choices, to save lives at sea or not, to welcome them properly or not.